TV Burp Gold 2, featuring more of my favourite bits from the series. First up, Talking Lemur on Sandy kneed in the groin by a ghost on Emmerdale. Archaeologist looks a bit like a peacock on Time Team.
And a quick look at
And Charlie Slater shocked by his own beer gut on EastEnders.
Oh, what's that?
What, I wonder, has Peter Jones from Dragon's Den been up to this week?
I'm going to urinate in a funnel.
Good luck with that. Yes, it's Peter's brand new format, which is not being America. Things are a little more extreme.
This competition is mine. I am the American Inventor, Season 2, 2007. I'm coming back with 4 yeses.
You know what? Calm down, mate. He was pretty confident. Is Dusty? Yeah. He's sure he's going to get 4 yeses for his special bike. Well, I say special bike.
Bro, I've put a full shield over the wheel to make it safer and more visible. Now the bicycle is 100% more safe. It's the most intense ride you'll ever take.
That bicycle is a patent-pending bicycle invented by you?
No.
No, okay, he's not invented the bike. What has he invented then?
But what have you invented?
My invention is the wheel.
He's invented the wheel! Third time too. Who else we got?
My name is Richard Desert Jr., and this is my father.
Hello, my name's Richard Desert Sr.
It's always nice to have a choice of desserts. what have they got up their sleeve?
Our invention is called the fire escape suit. It's a safety device that allows a person to quickly and safely escape a burning structure.
Fire escape suit, that's a good idea. I can see how that might catch on. Let's see it then.
Richard Sr., can you hear me? Okay, I'm supposed to put this on and then be running out of my house, right?
That's going to trap fire inside it.
You can see and you can move.
It's a cannibal's dream. Oven-ready human, but the invention I thought was the least likely to succeed was that of Wigberto Delgado.
Okay, my name is Wigberto Delgado.
The urinator. Yeah. So, what's the idea behind that?
The principle is, it's for men to be able to urinate without having to lift up the toilet seat.
I've got news for you, mate. We can. Sorry, darling. It was Penguin Week with Nigel Marvin on 5, and Nigel was off to South Georgia to meet a colony of king penguins. Now, obviously, if you're surrounded by king penguins the whole time, they might start to get on your nerves. But really, there's no need for bad language.
There's not just one or a few king penguins. Look at this. There's some king penguin shit.
King penguin is a distinguishing mark.
Well, there's no need for bad language. Now, just watch...
Facing a huge wall, hurtling towards them with a most unusual hole in it. And all the while having to bend their bodies into the oddest shapes ever, just to avoid being plunged into that pool of cold, cold water.
It's the Reithian vision that is. Hole in the wall.
Bring on the wall!
Bring on the wall!
Bring on the wall!
Bring on the wall! A polystyrene wall with a hole in it that tries to knock celebrities into a paddling pool. So, which top celebs they got for us?
Please welcome weather girl Sian Lloyd and kids' favourite TV presenter... And on Anton's team, presenter and comedian Amy Ramey, and the other half of Sam and Martin, Sam Nixon.
Yeah, you got a wall without a hole. The thing is, the whole process of dressing up in the library, as Sian Lloyd proved.
Bring on the wall!
Sit down. Yes, that's it. Legs up, down, up. Oh, yes,
Left her for a cheeky girl. Sorry, Sian. Whilst on Emmerdale, someone was in trouble.
Well, whose pants are on fire now?
And whose pants were on fire? Rodney's! But isn't it embarrassing when Mrs. Hitler calls? You don't want people to know, so you pretend to be talking to someone else.
Yeah, no, but... so my prognosis was 100% correct. Well...
Which brings us to our smallest amount of sick produced when being sick of the week.
Rise and shine.
There was a rather sinister turn of events on Emmerdale this week.
Here you go. You are encroaching.
Please. Edna was dealing chutney. Yeah, chutney in its purest form can be extremely addictive. First, Bob got hooked. Taste this.
Now that is what I call chutney. That is a taste sensation on the tongue.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we all know how it works. Jamie then got Nicola hooked on chutney. Yeah, chutney addiction is a big problem in our rural communities. And it's starting to enter our cities too. So, of course, it wasn't long before they decided to tackle the issue head-on with a storyline on the...
There's been some sort of fight. I saw your spoon. Are you involved in chutney again?
she's indispensable. You know,
Mr. Kirby, I'm arresting you on suspicion of supply chutney.
Chutney, just say no.
It's getting very difficult to believe anything you tell us.
Look, he gave me this first of all, and then he gave me this. And I said to him that I didn't want them, but he insisted. This piece of jewellery he gave me was this.
I thought I tuned into the shopping channel.
Vina, it's getting very difficult to believe anything you tell us.
He gave me this first of all, and then he gave me this. And I said to him...
Stella, the ring, please. And the Chop-O-Matic hasn't turned up since before Christmas. Yeah. And how much are your Giorgio's and Belly handbags?
What did you buy it for?
June Atkin was heading for retirement, so maybe she's D-Mob happy, but she did seem in a rather childish mood.
When I left you last night, I saw the DAC and the superintendent. They were kissing.
Superintendent and the DEAC, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. That's not all. That's not... You know, I was thinking the other day, what do the TV schedules really need? I thought what we could really do with is an in-depth programme about cranes.
This is Mean Machines. Today we're looking at cranes, from rollers to floaters, from miniature to monumental.
Yeah, but I've been tricked by this sort of programme before. I bet it doesn't cover
cranes on tracks.
Yes, it's Mean Machines Cranes. But I bet there isn't a crane to help me. You see, I've got a 360-ton solid steel roof that I want to raise, but I need to keep it horizontal at all costs.
With horizontal at all costs, it takes more than a mean machine to get the job done. It takes two.
All right, fair enough. They've done cranes, they've done tunnel borers. I'd like to see a Mean Machines and the sort of machines you find around the house.
This week, we're in the house for Mean Machines' ordinary household things. First up, the toaster. Then finish with a knob to adjust the amount of time your bread takes to toast. All fired up from a mighty 13-amp fuse. Toaster certainly is one mean machine. Is in the household arsenal. Water stored in the cleverly positioned cistern is fed via a pipe. For washing away your effluent, the toilet, it does struggle with cotton buds.
I was most surprised to see Amanda Holden recreating the title sequence from Tales of the Unexpected on Wild at Heart this week. No, of course not. And it was very sad to see poor Amanda...
Sarah! 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 Sarah!
Oh, there you are.
Oh, hello. Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Can you hear me, Colin?
Sorry. Oh, that's better. Thanks for that. Lovely.
Thanks, Amanda. Good luck with that opportunity in Oxford, you do. Yeah. Say hi to Paul Potts.
I beg your pardon of the week.
Back the bags, we are leaving.
Since when does a duplicity let a woman tell you what to do?
Takes about a day and a half, but the meat does come out lovely and tender. This was on Best in Show on 5, which offered us a peek into the world of the competitive animal breeder. We met Paul and Nikki, who bred fancy chickens. And what do fancy chickens do to relax?
You get attached to them, they're like children and just...
I know what you're thinking. If one chicken likes Emmerdale, the other likes EastEnders, how do they change channel? Well, that's easy. Go on, change channel. Look, change channel for me. That's the colour button. Oh, but... Change channel. No, you press menu. No one knows how to get out of that one. Which brings us to our TV announcement of the...
The owner of cat number 513, please attend to your cat. It is eating the cat litter.
Oh, I've just got this lovely new red scarf. Yeah, it's an... Yes, it's the X Factor. I think it's probably time for me to come clean and tell you who I'm backing. It's a vote for him, and it's a look that I'm trying to cultivate myself.
Someone will be heading us...
Which brings us to our...
Right decision by choosing that song for you. Because you're doing what you have to do, so you've got to protect your artist. And if, Louis, if you don't like it, tough.
There was a clever bit of detective work this week on doctors.
Hi. Let me guess, you had Rice Krispies for breakfast this morning.
I had for breakfast. Fire! No. If you look closely... Sugar puff. Oh, I love doctors. Because they turn up people suffering all sorts of different diseases. I mean, take this fellow with questionnaires disease. That condition where you can only communicate in questions.
Arthur?
What are you doing here?
It's about that young woman.
Where is she? Can I see her?
Well, I'd have to ring her first.
Did she say anything to you? About me, did she?
Well, I didn't know whether to believe it.
Oh, don't you see it?
So what are you going to do now? Keep handing out your leaflets?
Do you think I should?
I said you got them earlier.
Where's my suitcase?
A sad case of questionnaires disease. Well, I'm pleased to say he's made a full recovery and he's here. I'm so pleased you can make it along tonight.
Oh, you know.
You're looking a lot better.
Am I?
All right, OK. You watch much telly?
Why do you ask?
I think we'll leave it there. Now, have you ever wondered what's going on in Nick... Which brings us to our TV Burp's Pride of Britain Award, awarded to someone who we feel represents the spirit of Britain today. This...
TV Burp's Pride of Britain.
Look at the sea. He's freezing. Oh, no. She's not that baby in a prep.
TV Burp's Pride of Britain.
Well, there was a shocking high-speed accident on Albert Square this...
Take your car! Running with the longest!
Nasty. The number of tops ruined, several thongs rendered virtually useless, and nearly 6 quid's worth of damage. Elsewhere, the Beals and the Masouds had been involved in a food fight. Yeah, and isn't it annoying when you're meant to throw some food at one person, mistake someone else for them, but it's too late to stop yourself and you throw the food at the wrong person?
You can cook your food when we've finished our prep and not before. And if that woman comes in here, I won't be responsible for my own actions.
Please,
Jane! Jane! Peter, I'm really sorry. I thought it was her.
Yeah, easy, Miss Lady Zainab Masood. In fact, I'm waiting for Paris Hilton to come through that door any minute. Sorry, Ronnie. I thought you were Paris Hilton.
I understand, Harry. Happens all the time.
They walk into the Queen Vic. This one just pitched up on the pavement.
Hello, Jack. Guess a job.
Yeah, a new knitted character, and Jack took pity on him and gave him a job at the club, advising on financial matters.
Yes, with interest rates so low, Jack, if I were you, I'd remortgage and plough the money back into the business. Because you know the Chancellor reduced interest rates to 0.5% this week, so it's all good.
Yeah, to be honest, I was a bit annoyed at the knitted character from EastEnders accepting that job because he's supposed to be working for me. I'm your employer!
All right, I'll do it. You're only picking on me because I'm smaller than you.
Just clear off. So... Roxy's little baby Amy is really growing up. At only a few months old, she's capable of quite advanced hand movements.
She's smiling at me.
Yeah, you don't need to sound so flattered. She's been doing that a lot recently.
Yeah?
Yeah. Did she high-five me the other day?
Yeah, 3-month-old baby already able to high-five. Yeah, she's a real streetwise kid.
And you know what? It's going to be our little secret.
Hey, baby.
Yo, how you doing?
I'll send you later. Yeah, actually, it's not my for cooks.
Both teams are boning like pros.
Of course, with food, it's all in the presentation, isn't it? You can cook exactly the same food as someone else, but if the presentation isn't quite right, you get marked down.
I'm going to be really nitpicky here, because I probably put it sort of slightly close together. Do you see what I mean? Put it in a little bit. Just like, even just doing that changes it.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. See, I would have thought one way to really improve the presentation of that meal would be to throw a few chips on. Chippy chip! Some of the would-be chefs did struggle, though, with even the most basic procedures. I mean, I've got a steak and kidney pie here, cooked by Marie, who seemed a little bit gung-ho with the knife work.
With an unfamiliar knife in her hands, it's not long before Marie slices more than her onion.
Carry on. Yeah. Except that needs to be cleared up, please. Thank you. You've obviously never used a knife like this. When you use it like that, so be very, very careful. Don't get your hands too close, because it's quite dangerous. It's a wonderful knife.
Yes, yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
Take it slow.
haven't even trimmed the nails.
Adam Crew will test a model building on an earthquake simulator. To make it realistic, this model is built with spaghetti.
Dangerous adventures for boys now, in which Todd Carty and son James were given the opportunity of learning to drive a steam train. I learned so much about the workings of the steam systems. I found out where the whistle comes from. Yeah, it's all in the type of coal. Yeah, depending on the type of coal. Now, that's a bit of old coal for a steam train. There's a bit of French coal. And this is a bit of old... Mr. Todd Carty really threw himself into it, though. He even got himself a new look.
All right? Had enough of the smoke. Shall we leave it?
Heil Hitler! Oh, yeah, he really rediscovered the child within himself, did Todd.
James?
Yeah?
Cat.
No, I'm not rising to it. I felt that really the two of them should pull their fingers out a bit more.
On their mission, they'll need to keep the heat and flames going for 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Hold that in the door there and have a look around. Is the firebox clean apart from the coal you put in?
Yeah, looks pretty clean to me.
OK, there's nobody in there asleep on
Nobody
top of the
asleep,
dark?
nobody having a kip.
The story of crimes that were committed in the 60s, but that we are seeing now. It was, of course, a simpler time, the 60s, a time when it was OK to pour tea into a... It was nice to see love blossoming between Joe and an old girlfriend who turned up unexpectedly in Aidensfield. She kissed him whilst shaving and got some shaving foam on her face.
I've got an appointment. You headed to wait. Oh, I'll see you later.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, she's going in for another kiss. She'll get... Oh, oh dear, she's got on her... Oh. Yeah.
I'll see you later.
No, you bet. No, don't do that. You'll get... Oh, more shaving foam on your face. Oh. Yeah, you bet. No, don't do that. You'll get... Oh. She's caught in a vicious circle now. Yeah, you bet. Yeah. Just give him a kiss and sling your hook. Elsewhere, Dawn had fallen for an out-of-towner, and ooh, he was ever so glamorous. Yes, he had a bit of everything.
Blimey! What put that smile on your face?
His name's Johnny and he drives a sports car. You should see him. He looks like Georgie Best and Jim Morrison rolled into one, and he speaks French. He's going to come and pick me up for a drive later, but I don't know what to wear. What should I wear?
Just be yourself.
Oh, don't be daft. He's dead posh.
George Best and Jim Morrison, eh?
Well, me, I'd go more for Engelbert Humperdinck. We a bit of Michael Rennie. And
I like George Best. I like Jim Morrison. I like Engelbert Humperdinck. Michael Rennie's good, and David Frost. I like Sean Connery, but I also like Paul McCartney. But which is better? George Best, Jim Morrison, Engelbert Humperdinck, Michael Rennie, David Frost, Sean Connery, or Paul McCartney? There's only one way to find it. See you after the break. Come on, Michael Rennie. One day I'll bite the end of that brush. All right. Grow up, everyone. Welcome back to TV Burp Gold 2. Viagra overdose on Hole in the Wall.
Bring on the wall!
Angry fetus on Interior Rivalry.
I'm not happy.
Window Goat on Emmerdale.
You have got the wrong end of the...
And Crab enjoys Cult Saturday evening TV show. Dancing on Ice is back. You know what my favourite bit is? Yeah, it's nice to have a wave.
30 years since the Nolans made that record. Colleen was 14. And with all those ostrich feathers, maybe we should expect an egg.
It's a Nolan egg. Oh, I think it's hatching. What? Let me just get it. Idea with that. Now, I wonder what it'd be like if you got married to yourself. A bit like that, I suppose. Of course not. This was the winner of Ladette to Lady. And it's been a long journey for the Ladettes. They've learnt a lot.
The girls must each make an arrangement for the graduation ceremony. And Holly is already struggling with the names of...
Lithuanians.
We've got a bunch of Lithuanians in our garden. Well, they do smell nice. So it came time for the debriefing and an interview with Mrs. Harbord. Glamour model Louise came in for a bit of a dressing down over her topless work.
Even if I was to continue the modelling, it doesn't last forever, and I've realised that I do have to get some qualifications.
This needs to...
I was wondering when that got to. Keeps them all nice and neat. Her work done for the day, Mrs. Harbord then took her
diplomas for what they've achieved at Eggleston Hall.
This is to say that you are a lady from Eggleston Hall.
Thank you so much.
Word processing, click. Ladette to Lady, certificate, click, and print. There we are. But I didn't do the course. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week. TV highlight of the week.
3, 2, 1, go.
When Sharks Attack Now, a show that didn't waste any time at all getting to the heart of the matter.
Shark, primal predator, one of our deepest fears made flesh. But what really happens when sharks attack?
You get bitten by a shark.
Why do sharks bite people?
Because they taste good and are easier to catch than seals. It all started with a bowl of shark fin soup. It even snatched a much-loved pet from right under my nose. And just last week, it hid in a washing up bowl. What I have noticed is it tends to attack me from this sort of area here. Not sure why, so how should I react if threatened by a shark?
Once the shark gets here, I'm ready to engage it physically. Be that just pressing on it, pushing on it, striking at it. It all depends on the motivation. I've even gone so far as going...
Quick voting face. I was surprised to learn that sharks can be trouble even before...
Helping deliver babies, I felt this bite. It's gushing blood, then I realized I'd been bit by an unborn shark.
Bitten by an unborn shark? Oh, what's that? A shark tail? What the... Poetry Corner.
TV Burp Poetry Corner. Research biologist Mark Marks has spent his working life studying sharks.
A van at night looking for ghosts.
Sam and I don't like the dark. Please, will you put the house lights up?
Don't like the dark? We spent 3 whole series stumbling about in the dark.
What are you trying to say?
Enid. Who?
Don't like the dark? It's the dark that made you what you are today, mate. But don't worry, Derek is back on flying form.
I'm starting with a gentleman, first off, and with this man, who? Reg? And he's also mentioned Frank. Thank you. Okay, what's that uniform? In his younger years, I can see the uniform. In his younger years, please, I don't know what he was in the Air Force. I don't feel he was a pilot because of his attire, but he's keen to show me that, and he's transported back into the older age in which he passed. He may not even be family. He may be just known to you.
Frank or Reg? Anyone?
Yes, please, could you... microphone, please?
And he was in the Air Force. And he didn't fly, he was a civil engineer.
That'll do. He throws a curveball.
Right, I'm joined very graciously by a male dog. I can't say it's male. A male dog.
Dog ghost! Yeah, the ghost of a dog. So, what message does this dog bring from the spirit world?
Woof, 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 woof.
Yeah, thanks for that. But for some of the audience, meeting up with their dead pets again was not quite what they'd expected when they'd agreed to attend the show.
It just shook me up a bit, really. It's not the sort of thing I thought would come through. I was expecting my dad or someone to come through, not my cat.
Heston Blumenthal was back with his Victorian feast. I do like Heston Blumenthal. It's something about him.
That is, I can't... There's a caramel in there.
Oh, yes.
Toffee, burnt toast.
Yeah, Toby Young. Yeah, I really like him too. I don't know why. distant aim to recreate the great Victorian feasts. Great. I love learning new recipes so I can then cook them for my friends. Talk us through it, Heston.
All I've done with this is made a consommé, froze it, ice filtered it overnight so it's really clear. Then I just froze it again, put it in a centrifuge like a vegetable juice, and it spun all of the clear broth from the ice. And then I froze it again in the -80 freezer. And all I needed to do after that was pop it in a freeze dryer, and then simply add gelatine and finish with Madeira.
What I ended up with is that. Was plain up. Yeah. I went into Curry's and asked for a new one and was escorted from the shop. I was most interested to hear what the Victorians did for entertainment back then, in the days before TV.
Have you got any information about the Victorians' love for jelly?
The Victorians used to put jellies down the centre of their tables, and then they would watch them wobble, and that would be a form of amusement during the meal.
What do you say we give it a go? Yeah, most amusing. By the way, you're watching ITV1. Wonderland, which had a combination of most unusual flavours.
This fictional drink caused Alice to shrink and contained the flavours of toffee, hot buttered toast, custard, cherry tart and turkey, all in one glass.
This was a magical drink that never even existed.
Yeah, there may be a reason for that. The good news is, he pulls it up. I'm shrinking! I've shrunk to a fraction of my normal size. Wait a minute, down here behind the desk, that's where the... Yeah, sorry I shouted at you earlier. I'm getting sound at the end of the countdown tune.
It's officially more daunting than the dentist. Well, that glaucoma test is something else. They fire you in the eye with a sudden puff of air, like...
Get him off, Corrie. Yeah, you gotta love him. I think my favourite bit of Corrie this week was Steve McDonald having a wee. Unexploded German bomb.
Hang on. Oh, my... It can't be. What? Well, I could be wrong, but I think that's a bomb.
What with the bomb and the talk of the Second World War, it reminded me a little bit of Dad's army.
Thanks, everyone. You've been brilliant.
What time is it?
You're probably like me. When you're bored, you hook up the dog to the sofa and go chariot racing. We all do it. Dog sofa chariot racing. It's actually been considered for the Olympics.
On your marks. Get set.
Get up there. On Zoo Days, the story of the day-to-day running of Chester Zoo, they've got some very talented animals. There was a penguin that did a sheep impression.
Penguin numbers are in decline.
But the main focus this week was neither of them are keen on taking their tablets.
I'm just going to take the inside of this pear out. It's inside something and I can just pass it to him. And hopefully he'll just eat it whole.
Yeah, as I say, we do a similar thing for my nan. She's only on one tablet a day. She has been since the 70s. What we do, we then hide the grapefruit inside a cantaloupe melon. We put a cantaloupe melon inside a watermelon. It does seem a bit of a palaver. But if she didn't take that tablet and got pregnant, I'd never forgive myself. Yeah. Bear Grylls is back, and this time he's trying to fly over Mount Everest on a paramotor. It's an ambitious project, but safety first.
I'd always planned this project to be ambitious but safe. The bottom line is, it's ambitious, but it's not safe.
But 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Bear's
equivalent of a small man and a 100-horsepower car engine on his back.
It's pretty heavy. Let's see if we can take your arm. Give us a hand here. No. Oh, that is heavy. And Gino has to modify the engine to enable it to fly at high altitudes.
As well as the weight of the paramotor, they're carrying 45 pounds of fuel, oxygen, communications kit, and cameras. In total, it's 168 pounds, the equivalent of carrying a super middleweight boxer on your back.
Mind up, Gino. Right then, come on. Well, flap your arms, Ricky. Give us a hand. Come on, flap them. No, it's no use. It's not working.
How am I going to get on then?
I don't know how to get in. It's not my problem, is it? Yeah. Thanks, Vicky. Nice shorts. But all credit to Bear, he pulls it off. So, Gilo, what's your next big idea?
I've got lots of things I really want to do as soon as I get back to England. Flying cars will always be a big dream of mine.
Flying cars. Yeah, good luck with that. Channel 4's I Speak Animal Now, in which James French used telepathy to literally speak to animals with problems. Yeah, right. First up was Nicole, who was having difficulty getting on her horse. Maybe there was a reason for that.
Nicole was having a... Well...
Wait until you've calmed down a bit. No, grow up. Randy's the horse's name. Perhaps you better get James to have a word with him.
Animal communication is literally the picking up of feelings of animals.
What's it mean when he headbutts you, eh? Is that good? It seems to me he's saying, get lost, mind your own business.
TV voiceover highlights of the
Of Teddy's, Jumble's urinating seemed defiant.
Natural World Clever Monkeys now, featuring Dave Attenborough. And it's true what they say, you do tend to get a bit more right-wing as you get older.
Rivals and foreigners can be killed if you can catch them.
All right, Grandad, calm down. This programme followed a group of capuchin monkeys, and they had a surprisingly sophisticated society. For instance, they had regular trips to the monkey dentist. Yeah, that all seems clear. I'll see you in 6 months. I recognised a few faces amongst those monkeys. Yeah, there were Kirk Monkey off Corrie, off Girls Aloud, and Ant Monkey from Ant and Dec. Wait a minute. Famous faces in the jungle? That rings a bell. Yes, it's I'm a Pleb, get me on TV again. Yeah. And here are some of the stars involved.
Public, I think, probably best know me as Mr. Sulu from Star Trek.
Because that's the only thing you've been in. Who else? Then, of course, there's Timmy Mallet. Hard at times to remember that he used to be a children's entertainer.
Brilliant! Utterly brilliant! Thanks.
Yeah, put your trousers up and push off. Now, if the Earth was able to give birth, I wonder who or what it would give birth to. Push! Push! Oh, it's that bloke from Dollar. Yeah, David Van Day has immediately won over the British public.
Make a good meal out of it. After 3? God, we'll be full up. I'll be going, oh, seconds, he wants seconds. I shall be the cock of the camp.
You already are, Dave. Now, what do you do if you can't whistle? This was Snog, Marry, Avoid, the Make Under show in which brassy birds are made under to look more normal. First up was Martha. She was out to prove something once and for all.
Why have you come for a make under?
Because I want to prove everybody who said those people, how do I actually look without makeup?
Well, take your makeup off, you daft cow. Then there was Jay, whose role model was Britney Spears, and she had her down to a T.
I'm doing Britney Spears tonight.
I think it kind of hit home that Harry was embarrassed by his mum, and that kind of upset me a little bit. And I thought, you know, he's got a lot going on at his age. Last thing he's still is being embarrassed with his mum.
Yeah, a bit embarrassing still. She's family. Mum took the make under advice to heart and toned it down.
I've been too scared to take the plunge. I've been hiding behind that for so long.
So no more flashing your bits then?
Nah. Well, I can't help it from drunk.
One day at a time. I wonder what my mum's up to now.
With the taste of your lips, you're toxic, I'm succulent. Taste of poison, I'm addicted to you. Don't you know that you're toxic? Intoxicate me now with your loving now. I think I'm ready. Intoxicate me now with your loving now. I think I'm ready now. I'm ready now.
Thanks, Mum. What's for dinner?
Nuggets.